wealth management, tax, accounting, and payroll. Thank you for voting us Yuba Sutter's best in multiple categories, including financial advisor and wealth management firm for the past 5 years. You can find more information at shawassociatesinc.com or 530-674-1150. Shaw & Associates is proud to support community radio.
We are 93Q, your community, and I tell you what grows in the community doesn't necessarily stay in the community because we got relatives, right? And we send them off tastes of Yuba Sutter, our great growth that we got in this area. I want to welcome in the studio, Lauren. What's your last name there? Snowden. Snowden. Also, Kathy, what's your last name?
Sheesley.
Kathy Sheesley, both who are with the UC Master Gardeners, UC CE. That's the cooperative extension. Is there an uncooperative extension?
Sometimes it feels like
we're talking about things that grow in our area, makes this, because we're all looking forward to, well, probably tomorrow with the way the sun's coming out, but a lot of growth with all that rain we had in December.
Yeah, I mean, anyone's weeding right now, right? Like we're all picking up those weeds that, just decided to have a happy time. So if you're already knee deep, it's time to start some weed abatement and some trimming. And
there's some really weird-looking weeds propping up. I mean, broadleaf things that I've never seen before. Is it because of the weird weather?
No, but look at you and your terminology. That is great. It is really important to know what type of weed you're dealing with. So weed identification is great. So knowing it's a broadleaf or a grass or what you're dealing with will help you eradicate that weed if you choose to use a pesticide. We do recommend using mechanical, which is your hands, children, tools,
your
things
friends.
like that, friends, a work party, whatever you can get going.
A weed party.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Oh, wait, that's a different kind of party.
Weed party. But yeah, so right now is spring weeds. So yes, they're totally looking different than the weeds you saw in fall. These have been hanging out, sleeping, and they're ready to go with this great weather.
These seeds can stay dormant for decades upon. We had something pop up. I forgot the name of it, but it was a vegetable that my in-laws planted back in the 1950s. Okay, and it because we tilled up the soil, it got some of that back up there. Now that's not unheard of. There's some seeds of the last couple hundred years without even doing anything about it. So it'd be nice to. It's just nice to see and discover. I bring this up because this is a whole way of thinking, a way of life, isn't it? Working in your garden, if you will. It's a lot to learn. With that, Lauren, tell me, how did you get into it?
So I come from a family of gardeners. You know how you just take on the family trade, right?
Yeah.
Was always a gardener as a kid, went ahead and went away to college and literally didn't touch dirt for 4 years. So the minute I got to be able to touch dirt, I was like, oh gosh, I'm going to go plant some daffodils. Yeah. And when I went to the store to buy daffodils, they let me know you plant them in fall. You guys, it was spring. I was the most embarrassed non-gardener person in the world. Well, so then I was like, I just got to figure out what's happening.
That spurred you on to learn.
It did. So now here we are today. I've been a master gardener for, almost 12 years now, and it's just really something that I like to do. And I like to find other gardening geeks like Kathy, because I feel like I found my people, and other people that want to talk gardening without sighing and rolling their eyes and running away. So,
well, there is that. You can always talk about the weather, but when it comes to gardeners, the weather's kind of an important thing because a lot hinges on that, doesn't it? Kathy, tell me, how'd you get into all the gardening and growing and all that?
When my husband retired, we moved up here to Browns Valley and purchased 5 acres. Yeah. And so then I decided, gosh, I better plant stuff. Well, I was planting things that were dying, and that's how got me into it. I had to find out what I'm doing wrong.
And that's usually how it works.
Yes.
You all have been doing you had a booth at the home shows or the home and garden shows, and I've been the voice of that thing for the last 20 years. I'm the one saying, hey, if you got a question, come on over and talk to UC Master Gardeners. Do they show up at things like that? And what kind of questions do you get? Not just there, but typically from other growers besides, when you plant bulbs.
Which she knows the exact answer.
Which I know now.
I do too now.
I actually got to work the last fair that we did, and we did the Yuba Sutter Fair.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, a lot of people just will not want to talk to you, and they won't make eye contact. They walk away, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Do you like gardening?" They're like, "Well, I don't know." So then we just kind of like ease them in. We hand them some of our free information that we have on just like what grows best here, where to contact us, you know, if you're a beginner, where you should start. That's the questions that I don't get, because people don't necessarily have questions yet. And so,
Well, if I could back up, let's talk about those questions. Well, first off, what is a UC Master Gardener?
oh gosh, Kathy, do you want to take this
Oh
one?
my gosh, I have it written down.
Well, just give me your perception of what is a Master Gardener. Is it somebody that knows everything?
No, I have learned that because I know nothing. And I've learned how to research. So it's
Yeah.
all about knowing how to research and looking up and finding the answer.
Okay. So what does grow good in this area?
Gosh, we were talking earlier before this, and where I'm currently located is Zone 9. So my specialty is down here in the Yuba Sutter area. So Zone 9, so if you're going to go ahead and you're going to plant, I don't know, today something that you want to grow in the future, if you're going to be looking right now at bare root fruit trees. So if you're looking for a nice tree and you want something that can actually give you something back, peach trees, plum trees right now are a great thing to plant. There are several local nurseries that have bare root. And the reason why you want to plant bare root right now is that, guess what? It's cheaper. Yay. They do better, even better than a like 5-gallon potted plant, because they're asleep when you put them in the ground and they get to wake up in their home. So if I could say one thing to plant right now in a Zone 9 would be the bare root fruit trees.
And there's a couple of fundraiser groups around that they have bare root, like the library. I know that they have a bare root
Where they sell
sale,
those,
for fundraisers, and it's a good opportunity to take advantage of those things, because you know, I mean, what kind of a time commitment are we talking about? You know, you get a bare root peach tree, is it, you know, your great grandchildren going to have the fruit, or can you count on it in a couple of years?
Yeah, I mean, if you get a good fruit tree going, you could have fruit, depending on how old it was when you planted it, within the first 3 years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, that's the kind of stuff I didn't know. Go ahead, Fish.
There's a real trend towards people cooking at home, right? And so I want to do this. I'm not telling you I know how to do this, but I want to do it. And my big mistake was I thought I could plant a little bit of rosemary, a little bit, and I found out rosemary will own the world before things end. Rosemary will own the world. It's
know that.
incredibly invasive, and it
It's
just takes.
very happy here. This is its perfect home.
Yes.
It's probably
Is that
worth.
right?
I don't think he's grown mint.
Ah, yeah,
About
no,
take
no.
over.
Okay, grow
So-
mint or bamboo. It's very, 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 very happy.
I know bamboo is. I had to try to cut some out from a place once. So with the different herbs, what kinds of things that can we grow here? And I know with the rosemary, I could just plant it outside. But I know everything's not like that. So what are kind of, if somebody's wanting to cook at home and use fresh herbs, what would you guys suggest?
Okay, here's my number one suggestion to anyone who wants to garden for food. If you don't eat it, don't plant it.
Because you can only give away so much.
I plant eggplant every year, and I hate it.
Oh, believe me,
But it's beautiful.
I
I'm an
planted.
Italian friend. You'll be
I have
in
never.
like Flint.
I have never liked Swiss chard.
It's beautiful, though.
It's beautiful.
right.
But it's, well, what do you cook it in?
Right. So,
Yeah.
so my suggestion is to always look at your menu and see what you're going to actually use. And then if you really want to get into this whole thing, preserving's a whole nother level.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, I bet.
So
I bet.
we're just going to talk about the gardening portion, but in my tabletop outside of my kitchen, I have chives, I have cilantro, and I have Italian parsley. And then I have a very tall rosemary plant, because otherwise my pet's hair gets in it. So you need to make sure that if you're gardening outside with herbs, that you're putting it where pets and other live critters don't get to it.
Yeah, you bring up very good points, because these are these little tidbits of wisdom that you really don't know about until so you bring up a good point. You've got cats; they like to get through tall grasses. They like to see and hunt and everything, and they'll get their cooties on it, if you will. And that's just one of the things to take into account. There's also, you know, how much space do you have? Is it going to be container gardening? Are you going to be putting it in the ground? And what are the concerns versus container versus ground, if you don't mind? Because I don't know.
Mostly it's just room, like a tomato. Well, and then there's certain plants you can buy that it'll even say container tomatoes.
And there's full sun, half sun. What's up with that? If you don't mind, what is full sun and what is half sun? Because I don't know.
Okay, great questions. Everyone's going to hate this answer. There's a thing on plants called a label. Yeah. Sometimes they're great, and other times they're not so great. A great label will say full sun. It will give you like a real hour. Okay. But if I had to say full sun, I would tell you 6 to 8 hours a day.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay. And that's important when it comes to choosing which plants you are going to be planting, because you don't want something that's like the bamboo that can grow sometimes, a meter a day. But you don't want to put that next to a ground cover or how do you learn all this stuff? When I'm trying to say, are there classes?
You have master gardeners on your radio program.
Well, that's a great point. Do you have classes? Is it a regular ongoing thing? Do you have to want to become a master gardener to avail yourself of some of this knowledge? This wisdom, if you will.
I don't know if I'd call it wisdom.
Oh, yeah, I would.
My world, it's trial and error.
Yeah.
Because I learn more from doing it myself and screwing up.
Oh, yeah, we all do.
And reading and finding out, I should have done that. So I am. But by the time I'm 80, I'm going to be really, really smart.
Do you have to become a UC Master Gardener? Or can you just attend classes? And are there ongoing classes? How do we learn more?
There are ongoing classes. Matter of fact, Wednesday we start our next. We usually do it every 2 years, but because of COVID last year, we weren't able to do it, so we're off a year. But yeah, we have classes that start, and they go from February through May every Wednesday, and so you can sign up to become a master gardener.
What kind of stuff we learn?
So it's 15 weeks, and it's about 3 to 4 hours each class. And we're doing in person, and there's a bunch, I think there's 17 different topics that are required to be presented to UC Master Gardener volunteers. And we go through and we learn grapes, lawns, home orchard, plant like basic botany, water, like how to deal with water. We go through a whole section called integrated pest management, which is, I touched on earlier, which is basically picking the least invasive way to deal with whatever pest you're dealing with or whatever weed you're dealing with. And really why we do that is one of our goals is sustainable landscaping and keeping our environment clean and safe. So I always say read the label, which people hate, but read the label, know what plant you're dealing with or pest, and then you can appropriately deal with it.
Do you teach them how to read that label? Because, you got those 3 numbers on the front, like on pest or fertilizer.
Yes, there's actually a whole class on label reading because it is that difficult, believe it or not. So even some of the fertilizers, I know that some counties have full classes where they actually have, you can get, from the University Cooperative Extension, we can rent as people who train empty pesticide bottles, and we pass them out and teach people how to read that bottle.
That makes a lot of sense.
I mean, standing in the store, you get pretty overwhelmed when you flip that over and you peel open that thing, and it's like, 8 inches of smallest text in the world?
I can't see that.
Yeah, so it is a little daunting, but we do want to educate people.
Fish brings up a good point. Earlier, he was talking about these apps, because we've these plant identification apps. But there's a lot of ambiguity in there. That's why, it can nail it down to a certain range, but some of these things you need that expert advice through because there's some things that just got one little berry will throw it off.
Yes.
I'm thinking of Mr. McCandless, the guy who starved himself up in Alaska. He went to the bus. Well, he had a plant identification book. And because the 2 pages stuck together, he had the identification of a previous plant was a poisonous, and that's what caused him to get sick and die. I'm Christian McCandless. He stayed in the bus. You know what I'm talking about, Fish? Where he went off, lived by himself in a bus.
I think I've seen the movie.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. You know what I'm talking, Into the Wild or something like that. Into the Wild.
Thank you.
But anyways, I'm just saying it's that important, especially when it comes to things like mushrooms in this area. Yes. Basically, good idea when it comes to mushrooms is don't mess with them.
Go to the store.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They're already taken care of. So if somebody does have a question,
Yes.
right, and they really want to get a hold of you guys, because we're going to have to obviously go beyond this interview. There's no way we're going to be.
I love
John
talking.
and I.
Can you
John
tell
and
I like this?
John and I are not going to become master gardeners
No.
During 15 minutes, and neither is anybody else. So there's all kinds of questions people may have, and some of them might seem simple to us, and it's like, well, go do that. But like you said, you told the story off air about buying bulbs, right?
Yes.
I mean, I did the same thing. I just bought a bag of bulbs and threw them all over my yard based on size, right? And they never quit growing. They show up every year. But I just went to the store. And so whatever the store has, I made the assumption if the store has them, it's time to plant them. And you found out that's not true.
It's only true about 80% of the time. I mean, it is a market, right? And they're trying to make money. So will they sell you a plant that doesn't grow in our area? Yes. And they will expect you to baby it, treat it like it's your child, bring it in from outside when it's cold. And you can do that. Gardening can be a hobby where you create an entire greenhouse and all these things and all that. I don't do that. I don't even start things from seed because I'm not that patient. You will see me at the local store buying started seeds. You'll see me planting stuff that someone else already did. If you're into seed starting, we can help you with that. If you're into being a somewhat lazy gardener like me, I'm really into that. All of us who are volunteers in this area have different expertise and different, whatever you're into. Like Kathy, she lives in Browns Valley. She can probably tell you how to deal with clay soil. I don't.
It's true.
I live where it's nice and super sandy. So I'm dealing with quickly evaporating water.
Yeah.
So I need to add different things to my soil. So we can help you with your gardening questions like that. And we are actually in an office on Tuesdays and Thursdays where you can actually pick up the phone and
Very
call
good.
us, which, for some people is great and other people is scary.
Are you still out on Garden Highway?
We are out on Garden Highway, and we also have an email address and a website where you can submit your questions
Wonderful.
through there.
Tell us about that. I know I'm looking at the website here. Basically, just type in UC Master Gardeners for Sutter, Yuba, because you have your own little a kind of corner of the system, if you will.
Yeah, we are supported locally by the University Cooperative Extension of Sutter Yuba or Yuba Sutter, depending on who you are. And we're located on Garden Highway at 142A Garden Highway. And you've probably seen it. It's like the 4-H office. It's it's the Ag Commissioner's office. Yeah. And we're also part of that family. The UC Master Gardener program started in 1980. And we were actually one of the first counties to join that program, so that's pretty nice. So we've been there, and we've been part of that cooperative extension, and we have a little office there. We have a window where you walk in. You can drop off samples. Mm-hmm. If you are going to bring a sample, please bring it in a container. I do not want your live bug in my office.
Oh, that's true. And enough goat head thorns.
Yeah, so if anyone's going to drop off a sample, and we love samples, you're going to bring it in a Ziploc bag, and you're going to label it with your name and phone number or your email address so that we can actually call you back about it. Because one of the great questions we always get is, what is this? And someone brings one leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I am not that good yet. One day, maybe, but not yet. So if you're going to bring a sample, make sure you bring like a portion of stuff, or know where you found it, or know where it's located, or with all the technology we have, take a really good photo. Not the fuzzy kind.
No.
I can't do that either yet. But take a really good photo and we can help you identify. We're in the office on Tuesdays from 9 a.m. to noon, and Thursdays 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
And coming up soon, you're going to be at the Yuba City Farmers Market.
I was just going to say that. One of the other great places is the Farmers Market. So we're down by the big fountain. We're on Saturdays. And is it 8 to noon?
I think it is 8 to noon.
Yeah. So we start off really cold, and then we're really nice and warm by the end. So
I've been over there.
So come on down. You can bring samples down there to us too. You can. There's people that I used to see every weekend that would come down. So,
but of course, there's also, you got a Facebook page at Sutter Yuba MG.
Gosh, I take care of that thing horribly, but I do post events when we have them. So, Kathy, do you want to talk about our upcoming plant sale?
Sure. That's we are growing over 1,000 tomato plants right now. Matter of fact, I have 200 sitting in my wish me luck. And that is April, where is it? April 3rd, thank you, 9 to 12 at the Master Gardener office.
Okay. And you're also going to be at the upcoming home show.
Yes.
Okay. And you're probably going to have a nice booth there.
Yep. March 25th through the 27th.
Okay.
So people, I just want to, kind of make this clear. So they can come to you guys with questions about plants they grow for food, plants that are just decorative, right? I want a shade tree, I want a fruit tree, right? But also they can come to you with questions about pests, the different pests that we have in our area. And what did you say? There are certain ways to deal with pests where you're not killing everything else in the process of getting rid of a pest. I know I had somebody come in my yard, my front yard, and it's all lumpy, and he said, you got night crawlers, right? I didn't even know what a night crawler, I knew it was something used for fishing.
That's the sign of a good soil.
So I told the guy, I said, well, I don't know. He said, well, I'll tell you what happened. Somebody that lived here before you loved to fish. And when he got done, he just threw them out there. He said, if you come out here at night, you're going to be amazed. You got a yard full of them. And I said, well, how do I get rid of them, right? To get rid of, and he said, well, they're not going to harm anything. They don't do anything. He said, now you could harvest them. And I said, oh, and he said, yeah, you hook up a battery and you stick that thing in the ground, they come up, you just grab them. And I went, you're kidding me. And he said, no. He said, and then you take them over to Johnson's Bait or what it was and give it to them, and the fishermen will love you. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to go with the lumpy yard because they seem to be having a good time.
It's a good soil you've got there because of them, because it overturns that soil and brings up the bad.
They love my front yard. But I was just saying, so sometimes if we think we have a pest, it may in fact, my point was going to be, may in fact be beneficial. Are there certain things like that you guys recommend? This is good for your yard, or this is good for your plant.
Okay, my number one thing is know what you're dealing with. So, I mean, once again, first time gardener, own home, don't know what's happening. There's these weird bugs, so I murdered them. You guys, they were ladybug larvae, and I have still not lived it down. It's been like 20-something years, and I still think about how I murdered them. And then I'm like,
do you sing ladybug, ladybug, fly away?
I don't know. I need some penance. Maybe that's why I became a UC Master Gardener. But people do it all the time. They look directly like a really bad pest when they're babies.
Yeah.
So they're not. They're a beneficial insect. They eat.
Dragonflies is another one that's beneficial. There's a lot. Most of these are beneficial. There's not any that are not, unless it's a wasp. Let's be honest. There's nothing redeeming about a wasp.
No.
There isn't. They're not good pollinators.
There's nothing redeeming about flies.
There's not everything is interesting.
Mosquitoes. There is nothing redeeming about mosquitoes.
I think what people will learn when they get into gardening, one of the big things is how interrelated everything is. How one species relies on another species, and it's not just bugs or pests or anything or disc jockeys. It's it's the grasses and the weeds. You don't want to get rid of an entire thing of weeds, and when you just gotten rid of something that was beneficial, and that's why your experts are needed.
Yeah, or you don't want to spray weed killer and not wear the appropriate garments, or walk through it with your feet, then walk across your lawn and have footprints of dead grass where you walked. These are things that everyone's done at some point.
Wow, I didn't think of that.
I
never
it's
awful.
Thought of that. That's funny.
It's bad. But I mean, even you can talk to us about Hardscape. One of the things I do want to say about California is we get rain, but not often. Yeah. So we really want to recapture the rain in our soil. When you live in an area with a lot of concrete, a lot of that runs off and it goes, back into the drain. If you're going to be putting in a hardscape in your backyard, make sure that it's a surface where water can get through and get down into your soil. Soil is a living, healthy thing. You mentioned night crawlers. Yes, stuff in there is alive. The more activity you see, the water that's in there, the nutrients that you give it, or the pesticides you don't give it, it can really improve your soil and just your overall, environment around you.
What can people do right now to get ready for the growing season?
Oh gosh, Kathy, what are you doing right now?
Hopefully, before it gets 70 degrees, I have one more spray for my dormant spray for my fruit trees.
Is it too late in the season to deadhead everything, or that should have been done last fall?
If they haven't popped yet, you
Yeah.
sure can.
Okay.
I haven't deadheaded. That's coming up for me. I had tennis elbow. I had to put it on hold.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, me too. Trust. But if you haven't cut your roses, now's a really good time to get out there because they're starting to bud. So you're going to want to trim your rose bushes. You're going to want to take out any mummies that are on any of your fruit trees. You're going to want to take off any spent flowers. What we're doing is basically prepping your yard right now, or your plants or your potted plants, for what's coming up, which is a growth. So you want to take off the old and dead things. I do, where I live, I get a late frost, so in April, so I tend to wait to plant anything that is new or babies or vegetable related until April. If you are in a protected location doing a patio garden where your veggies are against your house, you may be able to start a little earlier than April, but I will be holding off till April. So what I'm looking at in my yard and my patio is really looking at keeping things clean, getting things prepped. And gardeners use rainy days for dreaming about plants.
Yeah.
It's a thing.
Seed catalogs.
Yeah, seed catalogs. It's a really weird, but I mean, if you want some inspiration, I would say order some seed catalogs, go on Pinterest, and just feel inspired. And then if you're confused, you can call us and you can visit us.
That number is 822-7515, and you're located on Garden Highway at 142A Garden Highway. Ladies, it's been, we could talk for an
I
hour.
got to ask one more
Go ahead.
question. I have to ask this.
Please.
All right? I meet a lot of people who say, I don't have house plants, or I don't, because I kill everything. I have the what do they call it, the brown thumb, you know, the one that kills everything. Honestly, is there anything that will survive those people? I mean, you know, those of us that have a great difficulty, right? You know, we don't know how to do it. Are there certain plants in our area that they're really difficult to kill? You could grow this, and it'll encourage them. Just maybe if they grow one, I think the bulbs are a great idea. Throw them puppies in the ground, and they'll show up.
Bulbs make you feel fantastic. If you want to feel really great this summer, plant right now dahlia bulbs. You will feel amazing when they bloom. It's crazy. You feel like you're just amazing, and you are just a goddess.
I'm going to get some.
You can be a goddess.
So what were you going to say for those people? What would you say? Because you mentioned tomato plants, and I thought,
Yes.
well, gosh, are tomato plants easy? And you guys are doing a sale on them.
Right.
So for somebody that maybe thinks I can't do that, if a tomato plant is relatively easy, they would actually get something from it.
Yes. And like we said, we're doing that in April because that's about the best time to plant those warm summer plants, is starting them in April. Once it's 50 degrees at night, doesn't get below that, and then watch your water.
Yeah. Well, temperatures
there
in the
you go,
40s this week overnight. That's got to be a change.
So the people that are having great difficulties, it's bulbs, it's dahlias.
Yeah.
Yes.
You will be a goddess or a god. I mean, I don't know, one of the two.
Goddess.
And then tomato plants. You know, what a great opportunity, because a lot of people they really do admire those that you go in their house and they've got house plants everywhere, and they have their
Don't
own
feel bad
garden.
about making mistakes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Kathy said that, you know, that's part of the way that she had learned.
Yeah, it's like a bad haircut. You know, it'll grow back with the plants.
If you want to do one house plant, by the way, I kill every house plant.
Don't do poinsettia. Don't do poinsettia.
I have fake ones. So
Okay.
most of my plants are fake in the house because I am just not that person. But
I
was
the
told
only one that did that.
no. But if you are that person that wants to have one and can't, like myself, who's just inept, the Z plant is apparently a plant that you just cannot kill. You can put it at the end of a dark hallway. It loves it. You see it in museums. You guys, once you start learning about house plants, you will literally see them in every TV show, in every movie, and you'll be like, I like that one. I have that one. But a Z plant is literally in everything I've seen.
A Z plant.
Z plant. It is a beautiful, dark green, leafy plant. It grows super slow, and it's just like this really weird thing that sits in the corner and just grows.
You know, it sounds
Which
like
I
I need to talk with my buddy Ed Clavel over at Botanica Landscapes. You know, these guys have been dealing with that for quite a while. Folks, thank you very much. We could, you know, this subject kind of grows on me. Sorry. But we already stopped talking about pests, didn't we? Yes. Thank you very much. UC Master
Thank you.
Gardeners.
This community interview is made possible by Shaw and Associates.
I'm Dave Shaw, President and CEO of Shaw and Associates. For over 65 years, Shaw and Associates has been your trusted local expert for wealth management, tax, accounting, and payroll. Thank you for voting us Yuba Sutter's best in multiple categories, including financial advisor and wealth management firm for the past 5 years. You can find more information at shawassociatesinc.com or 530-674-1150. Shaw and Associates is proud to support community radio.
The new